Chosen one, listen closely. What's happening right now is not ordinary. If this message has reached you today, understand. God is beginning your transformation. Yes, the shift you've been waiting for has finally started. The battles that drained you, the nights you cried in silence, the moments you almost gave up. None of them were wasted. They were preparation. Today, God is whispering to your spirit, "Rise now. Your transformation begins." This is not a small change. This is the kind of change that turns pain into purpose, fear into strength, and delay into destiny. Something inside you is unlocking. Something around you is rearranging, and something ahead of you is opening. You may not see the full picture yet, but your soul already feels the movement. So don't scroll away. This message didn't find you by chance. It found you because your new chapter just started. God said your transformation starts now, and you must accept it. Before you go deeper, do 3 things to align yourself with this divine shift. Like this video, comment, "I accept my transformation," and subscribe so your spirit can stay connected to this energy. Your old self is falling away. Chosen one. When God begins a deep transformation in your life, the first thing He does is loosen your connection to the person you used to be. It feels strange at first because you start noticing that the things which once triggered you, disturbed you, or controlled your emotions no longer have the same power. The pain that used to break you barely touches you now. The opinions that once kept you awake at night suddenly feel irrelevant. That is not randomness. That is growth. That is God lifting you out of the version of yourself that was built from survival instead of purpose. This falling away of the old self often begins quietly. You may not announce it, and you don't even fully understand it when it starts, but you feel it. You notice that certain habits don't fit you anymore. The old ways you used to react feel too heavy. Patterns you once repeated without thinking now make you uncomfortable. It's like you're outgrowing your own skin. The truth is, you are. You're stepping out of the version of yourself that was shaped by past pain, disappointments, heartbreaks, and limitations. That version was necessary once. It protected you, helped you survive, and carried you through storms. But now, God is preparing you for a different season, and that season requires a different you. This phase can feel emotional because part of you wants to hold on to what's familiar, even if it wasn't healthy. Humans naturally cling to comfort, even uncomfortable comfort, but God doesn't want you to live stuck in the same loops. When He says, "Your transformation is starting," He first removes the weight of your past. He lets old wounds lose their sting. He lets old triggers lose their fire. He disconnects your heart from situations that were draining your spirit for years. You may feel less interested in certain conversations. You may distance yourself from chaos without even trying. You may suddenly crave peace, silence, and clarity instead of noise and drama. All of this is proof that the older version of you is no longer leading your life. Your spirit is rising above the level where unnecessary battles used to exist. People around you may not understand this shift. They may say you've changed, and they're right. You have. You're not supposed to stay the same when growth is calling you. The old you was built for survival. The new you is being built for purpose, strength, and confidence. The old you reacted from wounds. The new you responds from wisdom. The old you fought for acceptance. The new you knows your worth. Chosen one, understand this clearly. You are not losing yourself. You are returning to yourself. You're becoming the person God designed before life tried to break you. This falling away is not a loss, it's a cleansing, a detox of old energy, a release of everything that cannot walk with you into your destiny. The new chapter God is preparing for you requires a higher, healed, wiser version of you, and that version is rising right now. You feel a strong push to change. Chosen one of the clearest signs that God is starting your transformation is that inner push you've been feeling lately. It's like something inside you keeps whispering, enough. It's time to move. It's time to grow. It's time to rise. You might not understand why you feel this way, but you know the feeling is real. You can't avoid it. You can't pretend it's not there. Even on quiet days, the thought comes back. I need to change something. This inner push isn't pressure from the world, and it's not fear or stress. It's spiritual activation. It's God waking up a part of you that has been silent for too long. Sometimes this push feels like restlessness. Sometimes it feels like discomfort with things you once tolerated. Sometimes it feels like you're outgrowing your own life. You start wanting more, not in a greedy way, but in a soulful way. More peace, more purpose, more truth, more growth. That desire is the spark of transformation. This push to change usually comes after you've been stuck for a long time. You may have spent months or even years trying to stay in the same routines, the same environment, the same lifestyle. But slowly, those routines stop feeling right. The comfort zone that once felt safe now feels too tight. The life you built doesn't feel big enough for the person you are becoming. And so God begins to nudge you, gently but consistently. That nudge is your wake-up call. The truth is, real transformation rarely begins when life feels easy. It begins when something inside you refuses to settle anymore, when your spirit starts asking for progress, when your soul knows you deserve better than repeating the same cycles. Growth never starts in comfort. It starts in discomfort. That uncomfortable feeling you've been trying to understand is actually divine guidance. You might notice yourself craving change in different areas, wanting to take your purpose more seriously, wanting to leave behind old habits, wanting to improve your relationships, wanting to break cycles that drained your energy, wanting to move towards something bigger and higher. This isn't coincidence. This is readiness. God doesn't push you unless you are prepared. Even if you don't feel fully ready, your spirit is. That's why you feel a pull stronger than your doubts. Sometimes, this push feels like pressure. You feel uncomfortable staying where you are, yet unsure of where to go. But remember this, pressure is what shapes you. Just like diamonds are formed under pressure, your transformation is activated in the moments you feel stretched and challenged. God uses that inner pressure to shift you from an old chapter into a new one. Chosen one, trust this feeling. You're not imagining it. You're not being dramatic. You're being awakened. When God wants to transform your life, He first transforms your desires, your thoughts, your direction, and your inner compass. This push is His way of saying, move, grow, rise. Your next chapter is waiting. God is removing certain people from your path. Chosen one of the most confusing and emotional parts of your transformation is when God starts removing certain people from your life. It feels sudden. It feels surprising. Sometimes it even feels painful. People you cared about, people you trusted, people you thought would walk with you forever. They begin to drift away without any big fight or explanation. At first, you may wonder if you did something wrong, but slowly you realize this separation is not your fault. It's divine protection. When God prepares you for a higher level, He also protects that level. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Some people were only meant to be part of the chapter you've already completed. You may not see their true intentions, but God does. You may not understand their energy, but God does. And you may not realize how they limit your growth, but God does. That is why certain connections fade at the exact moment your transformation begins. Sometimes, the separation comes softly. Conversations slow down, the bond weakens, the distance grows. Other times, it comes suddenly, a misunderstanding, a disagreement, or simply a shift that makes the relationship impossible to continue. Even when it feels unexpected, it's not random. God is closing doors that would have blocked your path ahead. Many people in your old life were connected to your old wounds, your old patterns, and your old identity. And since that version of you is falling away, the relationships tied to that version cannot survive either. If they stayed, they would keep pulling you back into the cycles God is trying to break you out of. That is why the distance is necessary. This removal is not punishment. It's alignment. God is aligning you with people who will support your growth, not your destruction. People who will speak life into your purpose, not drain your spirit. People who will celebrate your healing, not fear your transformation. Sometimes we pray for growth, but don't realize that growth requires pruning. You cannot rise while carrying everyone from your past. You may even notice that certain people walk away at the exact moment you need support the most. It hurts, but it serves a purpose. God wants you to rely on Him, not on people who were never committed to your journey. He is clearing the space so that the right souls, the right mentors, the right friends, the right helpers can enter at the right time. Chosen one, trust this process. The people God removes are not connected to your destiny. If they were meant to stay, nothing could separate them from you. But if they are meant to go, nothing can hold them in your life. Every departure is making room. Every distance is creating clarity. Every ending is preparing you for a beginning greater than anything you've experienced before. This separation is not a loss. It's God saying, I am protecting your future. Let this go so I can bring what's meant for you. Your spirit is more sensitive than before. Chosen one of the strongest signs that your transformation has truly begun is the increase in your spiritual and emotional sensitivity. You're not imagining it. You really are feeling things on a deeper level now. Your intuition, which used to whisper softly, is now speaking clearly. Your heart, which once ignored certain signs, now picks up energy instantly. This heightened sensitivity is not a burden. It's a gift. It's God fine-tuning your inner world so you can navigate your new chapter with clarity and confidence. You may notice that you can read people faster than before. You can sense when someone's intentions don't match their words. You can feel when a situation is off, even if everything looks normal on the surface. And you can immediately recognize when someone has good energy, pure intentions, and a genuine heart. This awareness isn't coincidence. It's protection. God is sharpening your discernment so you don't fall into the same traps that once caused you pain. This sensitivity also shows up in how certain environments make you feel. Places that used to drain you now feel unbearable. Conversations that once entertained you now feel shallow. Noise that you once ignored now overwhelms your peace. And people who carry negativity or hidden motives suddenly make your spirit feel heavy. This isn't weakness, it's growth. The more your spirit rises, the more allergic you become to anything that lowers your energy. You may also find yourself needing more silence, more reflection, and more moments alone. This is because your inner world is awakening. Your spirit wants room to breathe, to listen, to feel, and to connect with God. You're no longer satisfied with empty interactions or surface-level connections. You want depth, truth, and alignment. And that desire is proof that you're stepping into a higher version of yourself. Another sign of this sensitivity is emotional clarity. You feel things fully, but you understand them better. You're aware of your own emotions in a way you weren't before. You can tell when something is healing inside you, when something is troubling you, or when something is guiding you. Emotional intelligence is rising inside you, and that is part of your upgrade. God increases your sensitivity because blessings require awareness. You cannot step into a new season with old blind spots. You need sharper intuition to avoid wrong people, clearer vision to recognize right opportunities, and a stronger inner compass to hear God's guidance. This sensitivity is the tool that will help you walk confidently into the life meant for you. And yes, sometimes this sensitivity may feel overwhelming. You might wonder, why am I feeling everything so intensely? But remember, the stronger the gift, the earlier it activates. God is preparing you to sense danger before it reaches you, to sense blessings before they arrive, and to sense shifts before they become obvious. Chosen one. This new sensitivity is a sign that your spirit is elevating. You are not becoming emotional, you are becoming awakened. Your inner frequency is rising, your awareness is expanding, and your spirit is aligning with your destiny. This heightened sensitivity is not a burden. It's God's way of saying, I am guiding you. Stay tuned, stay alert, stay aligned. You're becoming more purpose-driven. Chosen one. One of the clearest signs that God is transforming your life is the sudden shift in what your heart desires. You used to be satisfied with temporary things, quick excitement, small wins, moments that made you feel good for a short time. But now, something inside you is changing. You want more than entertainment, more than distractions, more than surface-level happiness. You're craving meaning. You're craving purpose. This shift doesn't happen overnight. It starts quietly. You begin noticing that the things you once enjoyed no longer bring you the same satisfaction. Activities that kept you busy now feel empty. People who only bring noise and no growth feel tiring. Your spirit is no longer drawn to anything that doesn't lead you closer to who you're meant to become. This isn't boredom, it's awakening. There is a voice inside you that keeps saying, I'm supposed to do something bigger. You may not know what that something is yet, but the desire itself is the first sign. Purpose always whispers before it speaks loudly. God wakes up your mission by planting a longing in your heart, a longing to build, to grow, to contribute, to create meaning in your life and in the lives of others. You may find yourself thinking more deeply about your future. You might start questioning the path you've been on. Is it helping you grow? Is it aligned with who you're becoming? Is it feeding your spirit or draining it? These questions are proof that you're becoming more aware of your direction. You're finally seeing that your life is not random, it's intentional. And because you're becoming more purpose-driven, your actions begin to change too. You start using your time more wisely. You feel motivated to learn new skills, improve your habits, or work on dreams you pushed aside for years. Your priorities shift. You want to invest your energy in things that matter, things that last, things that move you forward. Even small steps begin to feel meaningful because you know they are leading somewhere important. There is also a calm determination rising in you. You no longer feel comfortable wasting your potential. You don't want to just exist, you want to grow. You don't want to keep repeating old cycles, you want to break them. This hunger for progress comes from God waking up your calling. Sometimes you may feel overwhelmed by the thought of purpose. You might wonder, what if I don't know my mission yet? But that's okay. Purpose doesn't always arrive with the whole plan. Sometimes it arrives as a spark, a feeling, a curiosity, a pull towards something new. Follow that spark. It will lead you to the flame. Chosen one, God doesn't awaken purpose in you without preparing a path for it. Every decision you're making now, every feeling you're experiencing, every shift happening inside you, all of it is guiding you toward the destiny designed for you long before you even knew it existed. You're not just becoming purpose-driven. You're stepping into alignment with your life's true direction. And this is only the beginning. Your mindset is changing without effort. Chosen one. One of the strongest signs that transformation has truly begun in your life is the quiet shift happening inside your mind. You may not have forced it, you may not have planned it, and you may not have even noticed when it started. But your way of thinking is changing. Thoughts that once held you down no longer feel as heavy. Fears that once controlled your decisions no longer have the same influence. You're becoming mentally stronger without trying. This is not something you're doing on your own. This is God reshaping your inner world. You're beginning to respond to situations differently. Things that once triggered you now make you pause and think. Instead of reacting out of hurt, you respond from a place of understanding. Instead of assuming the worst, you're learning to look for the lesson. This shift is not just maturity, it's spiritual evolution. You're not the same person mentally, and that's a sign that God is preparing you for a life that requires a clearer, wiser, and calmer mind. Another change happening inside you is your focus. You're no longer fixated on past pain or the things you lost. Earlier, your thoughts would circle around disappointment, betrayal, or regret. But now, your mind feels lighter. You're looking ahead instead of behind. You think more about your growth than your wounds, about your future more than your failures. This positive shift is not accidental, it's alignment. God is redirecting your attention to what truly matters. You may also notice that the negative inner voice that once spoke loudly is becoming quieter. Self-doubt, overthinking, fear of judgment, they're losing power. Instead, you're hearing a new voice rising inside you. A voice of hope, clarity, and confidence. You feel more capable, more deserving, more aware of your value. This mental upgrade is part of your preparation for the blessings you're about to step into. Your mindset is also becoming more disciplined. Even when you don't feel motivated, you feel responsible. Responsible for your healing, your choices, your future. You don't want to waste time the way you once did. You're not interested in arguments that drain your energy or situations that disturb your peace. You choose silence over drama, clarity over confusion, and growth over comfort. This new discipline is shaping your path forward. Another powerful shift is the way you see challenges. Problems that once felt overwhelming now feel manageable. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you're beginning to ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" That shift alone shows how much you've grown mentally. You understand now that challenges don't destroy you, they refine you. Chosen one, God always transforms your mind before He transforms your reality. A new life requires a new mindset. A new chapter requires new thinking. Your thoughts are aligning with your destiny long before your circumstances catch up. And the best part? This transformation isn't coming from force. It's coming naturally because your spirit is rising. This mental shift is your proof. You are stepping into the future God prepared for you, and your mind is already walking ahead of everything else. You feel a quiet courage rising in you. Chosen one of the most beautiful parts of transformation is when courage starts growing inside you quietly, gently, and naturally. It doesn't arrive with noise. It doesn't come with big announcements. It begins like a soft whisper in your heart, a peaceful strength that you can't fully explain, but you definitely feel. Even though you don't have all the answers, even though everything isn't perfect yet, something in your spirit feels stronger than before. This quiet courage shows up in small moments. You start trusting yourself a little more. You start believing that things will eventually work in your favor. You begin to feel protected, even when life feels uncertain. There is a new sense of calm inside you, not because everything is easy, but because somewhere deep within, you know you won't break this time. You've survived too much, learned too much, grown too much to fall back into old fears. Earlier, fear used to lead your life. It used to tell you what you could or could not do. It kept you stuck, small, and silent. But now, fear is losing its control. It still shows up, but it no longer decides your future. You feel something inside you replacing fear. And that something is faith. You trust more. You doubt less. Your heart feels more steady. And even when you're unsure, you don't panic the way you once did. This quiet courage also changes the way you see yourself. You no longer call yourself weak. You no longer think of yourself as someone who always falls behind. You see strength where you once saw pain. You see progress where you once saw problems. You begin to acknowledge your own resilience. This is not pride, it's awareness. Awareness that you are becoming someone capable, someone protected, someone guided by a power greater than you. You may notice that you don't overreact the way you used to. You handle challenges with more peace. You give yourself more time before making decisions. You're no longer scared of starting over, trying again, or taking a new path. That calmness is courage. The world may think courage is loud and aggressive, but real courage is quiet. It lives in your heart, not your voice. It gives you stability, not stress. This rising courage also gives you hope. Not the temporary hope you used to hold, but a deeper hope that makes you believe your life is shifting for the better. You wake up feeling slightly lighter. You go to sleep feeling more supported. That gentle confidence is God whispering, "I am with you. Keep going." Chosen one, understand this. Your courage is not accidental. It's a sign that your spirit is healing. It's proof that God is strengthening you from the inside out. This quiet courage is preparing you for opportunities, blessings, and breakthroughs that require a stable heart and a confident mind. You may not be where you want to be yet, but the strength rising inside you shows that you're getting closer. Fear is fading. Faith is taking the lead. Strength is growing roots. And this inner courage is your confirmation that you are stepping into a stronger, wiser, and more powerful version of yourself. Unexpected opportunities begin to appear. Chosen one. When God starts transforming your life, one of the clearest signs is the sudden appearance of opportunities you never expected. These chances don't come because you begged for them, chased them, or planned them. They come because God positioned them. You'll notice that doors which once felt permanently closed begin to crack open. Situations you thought were impossible suddenly become reachable, and paths you didn't even know existed begin to unfold right in front of you. At first, these opportunities may feel surprising. You might even question, why now? Why me? Where did this come from? But the truth is, nothing is random. Everything that shows up in this season is divinely timed. God has been working behind the scenes long before you saw any movement. He has been arranging people, shifting circumstances, and preparing places that match the person you're becoming, not the person you used to be. Sometimes these opportunities appear as new ideas. You suddenly feel inspired to start something, build something, learn something, or take a step you were once too scared to take. You don't know where the idea came from, but it feels right. It feels timely. It feels guided. That spark is a sign that God is planting purpose inside you. Other times, the opportunity comes through people. You meet someone unexpectedly, a mentor, a supporter, a helper, a connector. This person brings clarity, guidance, or a chance that pushes you forward. You may not have searched for them, but they appear exactly when your spirit is ready. God sends people as blessings, and He often sends them right when your life is shifting. Some opportunities appear in the form of invitations, a job offer, a collaboration, a new environment, a conversation, or even a suggestion from someone you didn't imagine would help you. These invitations may seem small at first, but they can lead to major breakthroughs. Every divine opportunity starts quietly and grows loudly. And then there are the opportunities that come disguised as change, a sudden change in routine, a new direction, an unexpected turn. All of these can be divine openings. Sometimes God doesn't open the door gently. Sometimes He pushes you through it because He knows your destiny is waiting on the other side. The beautiful thing is, these opportunities won't feel forced. They won't drain you. They won't confuse your spirit. They will bring peace, even if they bring challenge. They will feel aligned, even if they feel new. God never sends an opportunity that contradicts your soul. He sends the ones that activate your growth. You'll realize that these openings arrive at the exact moment your mindset shifts, your spirit rises, and your heart becomes ready. That's because God never sends blessings to someone who is mentally stuck in the past. He sends them when you begin to step into who you are meant to become. Chosen one. Understand this deeply. These opportunities are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are proof that your path is aligned, your prayers are heard, and your transformation is active. What's opening for you now is opening because God Himself has placed your name on it. Walk through every door with faith. This is your season of divine opportunities. You know deep inside that your life is changing. Chosen one, the strongest and most undeniable sign that transformation has begun in your life is that quiet inner knowing, the feeling that your life is no longer the same. You can't explain it to others. You can't point to a physical change yet, and you may not even understand it fully yourself. But something in your spirit knows. You feel movement inside you. You feel a shift in your thinking, your choices, your emotions, your dreams. You feel like something new is forming around you, even if your eyes haven't seen it yet. This inner knowing doesn't come from imagination. It's not wishful thinking. It's the feeling your soul gets when it recognizes that God has started something in your life. Your spirit always senses the shift before your circumstances reveal it. That gentle awareness, that whisper of something big is happening, is God's way of preparing your heart for what He's bringing next. This feeling shows up in small ways. You wake up with a bit more clarity. You feel more hopeful than you did before. You sense that certain things in your life are closing while others are opening. You feel lighter, even though nothing dramatic has changed on the outside. You catch yourself dreaming again, planning again, believing again. This is confirmation that your inner world is being reshaped to match a new chapter. Sometimes this feeling brings excitement, a sense of possibility, a spark of hope. Other times, it brings calmness, a deep peace that tells you everything will fall into place. And sometimes, it brings discomfort, because your soul knows you're outgrowing spaces that once felt safe. No matter how it feels, one thing is certain. You can't shake it off. You can't ignore it. It keeps returning, reminding you that your life is shifting in a way you can't yet describe. This inner awareness also makes you more observant. You start noticing signs that you used to overlook, moments of alignment, messages that feel personal, coincidences that don't feel random. You begin to feel guided, almost as if invisible hands are directing your path. This is because God is building something new for you and positioning you to receive it. You may also feel more connected with your purpose. Thoughts about your future feel clearer. Your decisions feel more intentional. You aren't operating on autopilot anymore. You're moving with awareness, with meaning, with a sense of direction. This shift is proof that your heart is stepping away from the old storyline and embracing a new one. Chosen one, understand this deeply. Your spirit always feels transformation before it becomes visible in your life. It is God's way of saying, get ready. What you prayed for is closer than you think. The inner shift is the spiritual confirmation that change has already begun in the unseen realm. Soon it will appear in your physical life. Your new chapter is not coming. It has already started. The feeling inside you is not confusion. It is recognition. You are stepping into a version of yourself that you were always meant to become. Trust this inner knowing. It is the voice of your destiny calling you forward.